and VR? Because correct me if I'm wrong, guys, I haven't seen too much AR and VR in the NFT space. So was that always kind of a vision of yours? Was that more so just kind of something that just kind of happened after the licensing?
No, that was actually key from the very beginning because, you know, for us, as I mentioned earlier, it was always about the experience. And, you know, for David, who owns collectible, retail chains around the world, every single day, he's selling statues of Batman or Spider-Man, or, your favorite characters. And so we know that there's a huge physical component to collecting. And with the lucky timing of, AR basically becoming ubiquitous on devices, we really saw that as an opportunity to basically, bring the digital into the physical world. And we always had an inkling that it might have some virality, that if you could stand next to Batman or stand next to Harley Quinn, but it went obviously 10x more viral than we thought. So all of the features that are in the app now, from the feed to the market, the AR, the showrooms, basically all of those were there almost from day one.
Awesome, Dan.
All right. Yeah, I've got to ask you guys a very serious question. So it's probably going to come from your communications director now, because I'm getting a lot of DMs about it. There's the when the buybacks, and one of the questions that actually came to me was there was supposed to be they're estimated about $60 million in sales, and percentages supposed to be locked away. Is there plans in the next several months, next year or two, that there will be buybacks, or is that something that is still just in limbo because of the way the project's being rolled out?
A little bit of everything. So obviously, as I mentioned, this year has been just absolutely insane in terms of the growth, and we've had to focus a lot on really just keeping the engine going in the background. And number two is obviously we're doing a big migration to immutable at the moment. So we've really allocated set aside most of the tokenomics for post immutable. And then the other side of it is that, we are, as a business, we are also dealing with a lot of regulation. As VeVe grows and gets more attention, we need to be very careful about how the company, positions itself. And that means that, there are lawyers, accountants, everyone who is looking at, the craziness that's happened over the last 8 months and helping to advise us on how to move forward. So it's not really an issue of, that we're just not doing it because of whatever. Everything is really a step-by-step process in this business because it is such a new space.
Well, that satisfies me, but I don't know if it's going to satisfy the haters. I have a marketing question. I have a marketing question now for you guys. And one of the marketing question is, where was the marketing? Like, a lot of people come out firing on all 4 cylinders in this space with ads and promotions and billboards in the middle of Times Square, but you guys seem to have taken a much different approach to this. And, maybe give us a little insight on why it's a little bit of a slower rollout.
I guess ECOMI and VeVe has always been a slow-growing beast. Like I mentioned earlier, we have 1 foot in the real world and 1 foot in the crypto world. So while 1 foot is trying to move at 1,000 miles per hour, as things have to do in crypto, the other foot is moving at a normal rate. Now, I would say probably what happened is that back in the early days in January, both myself and Reese and some other members of the team, we were doing a lot of AMAs in the crypto space just to help raise awareness of the project. And then from there, we started to get a lot more. Obviously, our signups started increasing quite dramatically. And I really just think it had sort of some form of critical mass and just really started snowballing from there. Like I mentioned, one person would take a photo in AR with them standing next to Batman, and another person would be like, "Whoa, how did you do that?" And the app itself just started to get a lot of traction on its own. And, you know, this wasn't, I mean, obviously we hoped the business was going to be successful. I mean, I remember even back last year, right before we launched in October, Dave and I were just, you know, sitting around the table looking at the app thinking, oh man, I really hope someone, you know, buys a Batman, you know, Todd 100, because that was the first collectible we put out. And we did have plans to, you know, roll out ads, to do all of that kind of stuff. We had companies lined up to, you know, help us with the digital marketing and targeting specific users. But then we actually found that, you know, the community, you know, honestly, bless them, basically just stepped up and started doing videos and, you know, starting groups. And, you know, they really helped contribute to the, you know, to the snowball effect that that has turned VeVe into what it is to today. So from our perspective, we were sort of like, and even up till now, I mean, and I won't say that we don't do marketing now, you know, we do a lot of marketing, but we don't really do much in the way of paid marketing. And for the reason being, even to this day, you know, our drops are still selling out within seconds or less than a second. So there's not really much point for us to go out there now and start putting out paid promotion. You know, our community is so active, and there are always new users coming into the app every day. So yeah, basically the plan was there to start doing that, and we thought we would have to do that to help you know, support the business growth in the first year. But like I say, you know, we were very, very lucky and very blessed to have such a committed community.
Well,
And,
Dan,
guys,
sorry, Jeremy. Go ahead,
no,
Jeremy.
I was going to say, there's a classic business school case that I remember. It was a Heinz ketchup case that explained how advertising can actually negatively impact an organization that's growing at a pace that's so rapid. And essentially, I will tell you all the time in toys, we will pull advertising if we're advertising to empty shelves. One of the worst things that you can do is try to build up a community when you're at maximum capacity or close to that. So it's actually, you know, especially when you're in a situation where it's a land grab, I actually give these guys a lot of credit for holding back a little bit, because it is so tempting to go absolutely haywire. I think their growth strategy in the sense has been pretty masterful. And listen, when you have it coming in, it is very tempting to spend it. But you're going to be advertising to empty shelves, or you're going to be advertising beyond the current scope of what your supply allows. It can be way more destructive than advertising.